and welcome to a new episode of Journey of a Christian Writer. In this episode, I'm going to go over 5 phases for a transitional character arc, and this is for positive or negative character arcs. For those that aren't aware of the difference between the two, positive character arcs are where a character starts off in a negative condition and ends in a positive condition. They pretty much go from bad to good for positive character arcs. For negative character arcs, a character starts off in a negative condition and ends in a worse condition. They pretty much go from bad to worse in a negative character arc. But anyways, I'm going to go over my 5 phases now. I actually made a diagram. As you can see here, this is the diagram I made for my 5 phases of a transitional character arc. But I am going to go over them now and then use these phases for an example of Dorothy's character arc from The Wizard of Oz. The first phase is for the stasis. The stasis is the character's state of equilibrium before any triggers or perceived threats has taken place. This is the character's everyday life, in other words. Phase 2 is the turning point. This is where the character's equilibrium is triggered or disrupted by an unexpected surprise, tragedies, other characters, or events within the story. Note, this turning point can be positive or negative depending on the type of character arc that you're going for a particular character. Phase 3 is the dilemma. This is where problems have arisen, forcing the character to make a difficult choice or decision. This is also where the character comes to terms with certain revelations within themselves. The next phase is phase 4, which is the resolve. This is where the character experiences internal changes from the story's conflict or complications and comes to a final solution for the matter at hand. And finally, phase 5 is the new normal or new stasis. This is where the character has reached a new living state and sees things from a different perspective, which leads them to a new or another approach toward life. Now I am going to use an example of Dorothy for the 5 phases of a transitional character arc. For phase 1 stasis, I have Dorothy is a Kansas farm girl who desires a more exciting life somewhere over the rainbow. She's dissatisfied with her home life. Phase 2, trigger, or turning point. After running away with her dog Toto, she collides with a cyclone on her way back home, which takes her to the land of Oz. Phase 3, the dilemma. No longer in Kansas, she's stuck trying to find her way back home, going through several challenges, including a matter of life and death after being captured by the flying monkeys of the Wicked Witch. While in her solitary confinement of the Wicked Witch's castle, she's forced to come to terms with the possibility she may never return home again. Phase 4, resolve. Dorothy realizes she should have never ran away from home and misses her Aunt Em and family. She learns later she had the power to go home all along by her ruby slippers. Phase 5, new normal. Dorothy is grateful to be back home in Kansas and more appreciative of her farm life, having a new perspective that there's no place like home. So that is just an example of applying the character arc of Dorothy to the 5 phases of a transitional care arc. But that is all that I have for this video. I hope it was helpful or inspiring, and thank you for watching.